Hey, this is Sam Leonard. Now, in today's video, what I'm going to be talking about is the importance of doing the work. Otherwise, it's going to affect other people. And, obviously, within personal development, we're on this journey. We're doing these levels of development, of growth, of self-inquiry, of doing these courses, reading books. And, this has a massive benefit on ourselves, and we can see this the longer that we're on this journey, the more in depth we go, we can definitely see the positive impact it has on ourselves, on our lives. But what I really want to address more in this video is how it affects other people, the importance of doing the work. Otherwise, you're going to affect other people. This could be a personal relationship, and this could be your kids. If you haven't had children yet, think about the impact if you don't address your issues, your traumas, your drama, your lack of development in certain areas, lack of awareness, the things that you will project onto them. And this isn't specifically a video just about that. It's just really about our effect on other people. And this is why doing the work. And when I mean doing the work, I mean proper levels of self-inquiry, of asking the difficult questions, about addressing things that are difficult for us, looking inside of ourselves, looking at the parts of us that we don't like, the shadow aspects, the parts of our psyche that we haven't looked at and we don't particularly want to a lot of the time. It could also be things that have happened to us in the past traumas, things that have influenced us and had a negative effect on us, caused us to be imbalanced in a way. And all of these things are really important for us to address. Otherwise, the future, the people, our children, our relationships will suffer. There will be a certain level of projection. And this is what happens. We project onto other people. Our parents would have projected onto us. It doesn't mean that they're necessarily bad, or we have to go down this route that's very unhealthy about blaming our parents. Most people are doing the best that they can with what they understand, and a lot of people don't understand a lot of these depths, these levels of personal growth and development, these things that we can do to have these levels of self-inquiry, to look into ourselves, look into our psychology, look into our past, all these different things that we can do to develop ourselves, to grow and move forward, all these things that will help us evolve and that will help us to become more complete, become more whole, become more authentic, and not project onto others. And obviously, our parents probably didn't have this information. The personal growth industry is much bigger. The last couple of decades, a lot of this stuff wasn't really common knowledge, and people have been doing it for a while, but people are more getting into this now. So don't go down the route of just blaming your parents, but we have to understand, we have to come to a level of understanding of the different energies, the projection within our childhood has had an effect on us. And when I talk about trauma, obviously if there was something that was quite traumatizing to you, something quite big, or a series of events that was quite big, obviously that's something that's going to be difficult to address, and I appreciate that. But these are the things that do have an ingrained, a deep effect on us. But when I talk about trauma, all of us have been affected by different energies, let's put it that way, when we're growing up. These different levels of projection, like I was saying, but different personalities. People come from different backgrounds. They, even our parents, you don't really know the in-depth details of how they were brought up, the energies that they were exposed to within their childhood as well, which could have gone on to you, or something that might have happened to them. Also, other people who are influential in our lives. We all have these levels of healing to do to really get over these things that might have had an effect on us. Because it's important to remember, as children, we are quite easily affected by things, because at that time in our life, you know, that might have been the worst thing that's happened to us. We might look back and think, actually, that wasn't that bad. But we have a comparison. You know, we're adults. We understand things that have happened to other people, and we compare to that, and we think the things that have happened to us might not be much of a big deal. But really, as a child, you know, we don't have that comparison. We don't really have that level of understanding how traumatizing something is, you know, on a scale or something like that. So we all have these different levels of things that we need to heal from, and that's important to know, because that gives us a place to start our own level of self-inquiry, of looking into our past, looking into things. You know, we're not necessarily digging things up that aren't really a problem. We're just being honest with ourselves. We're coming to this in an authentic way of what questions do I need to ask to grow? What do I need to grow, to evolve, to become more mature, to become my complete self? What levels of my psyche, shadow aspects of my psyche, do I need to address? What things do it's like the concept I talked about with shadow work, you know, looking into parts of your psyche, looking into other people, like what things bother you, what things trigger you. These are often elements to look into ourselves. You know, there's an element of this mirror effect within life. These different things, different personalities, different events happen, and they're very good places for us to start to look at the lessons of life and look at where we need to grow, because there's going to be, most people at least have the level of self-awareness to know, to understand where they need to grow, where they need to things that they need to improve on, you know. So this is all very important, because we have to come to a level of self-responsibility on how we affect other people. Most of us know this within our personal relationships or past relationships. You know, if you're really honest with yourself, you can't just go around blaming how, you know, you had the worst ex or the worst exes in the world, like most people do. You have to have a certain element of self-responsibility of our effects on that. Yes, it might have been them more than you, but you know, there's no point sort of hanging up on this stuff. We have to come to a level of self-responsibility and look at the areas that we need to grow into. Because going back to the children aspect, you know, if we don't do the work, if we don't take with these responsibilities, if we don't grow up mentally and mature in these elements, then we're going to have this level of projection onto our children, and this is going to have a huge effect on their life. And that's a stark realization that most people are not really looking into, you know, the importance of this personal development journey, you know, that we can have such a positive impact on other people. You know, on the flip side of this, you know, just these small changes within ourselves, you know, if you really want to have an impact on the world, you have to start with yourself, because, you know, that most people don't really appreciate their influence on other people. And when you start improving yourself and you start seeing the positive impact on other people, then this is real positive confirmation of that. So obviously, on the flip side of that, if you're not doing that, then that's going to have a negative effect on other people, on your children, on your partners, on your friends, on your work colleagues, everyone around us, you know. But what I would say is, I want to give some positivity to this. You know, if you do have children already, then we can change now. Change can start now. You know, we can always have, going back to that, we can always have a positive influence on people. And, you know, it's never too late. You know, we can't just think, oh, you know, I've done this, I've done that. It's not constructive. It doesn't help anyone. It doesn't help yourself. It doesn't help others. There's always time to change and start to make a positive impact on those around us, you know, our loved ones. It's never too late to do that. And change can start tomorrow. You just need to make a decision, have an intention to start looking into yourself, asking some questions, having a level of self-inquiry and thinking, where do I need to grow? What is going to have the most benefit to my life moving forward? What is the next step? You know, is it your emotional development? Is it understanding relationships? Is it understanding some of your limiting beliefs, some of your self-sabotage, some of your habits? Do you need more discipline in certain areas? You know, these are all different levels of inquiry, of asking questions. You ask better questions, you're going to get better answers. Looking at who you're spending time with, who's having a positive influence on you, and who you can spend time with to have a positive influence on others. So it's never too late. It's never too late to have positive impact, on yourself and others around you. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments your thoughts on this topic, and I look forward to seeing you in one of my next videos.